Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, my name is Haley. I'm a cashless budgeter and caregiver who's working in a relationship with finances as well as working towards financial freedom. I thank you guys for returning to my channel. And if you're a new watcher and or subscriber, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and welcome to the channel. So I have been making some changes behind the scenes. As you guys know, October was Debttober here on the channel, and I was more so focusing on paying off debt. In that case, I did end up paying one of my student loans off completely. So I only have one more student loan that I'm working on and hoping to finish. Originally, my plan was to finish it by the time I turn 30 and or before I turn 30. So that's roughly 2.5, 3 years from now. Give or take, I was more focusing on the year than when my actual birthday is in March. But regardless, I sat and talked with individuals in other communities I'm a part of, other financial communities on here on YouTube that I'm a part of. And it was really eye-opening in a way, in the sense that I am very much a goal-oriented person and I enjoy meeting goals, don't get me wrong, but I also need to basically, sit down, take the time to smell the roses, which a lot of you guys have mentioned that I do in the comment sections, and I read them. Don't get me wrong, I read them, every single one of them, and I hear you. So what I am doing starting here in November and going forward is basically reworking not just my budget, but also reworking my mindset around finances, and in particular debt payoff versus saving and investing. Being that part of my channel and part of my channel intro to begin with is to work on my relationship with finances, this is one area that I have honestly justified not changing because I was so focused on paying off debt, or the positives that were coming out of it with the debt payoff felt great, but at the same time I was ignoring the detriments that it was causing to me. For example, as you guys know, I had surgery earlier this year, and I had to step back from things like lifting, heavy lifting in particular, and other activities I like to do, which, again, body forcing me to sit down. But that time, and just before that time, was the first time that I actually had constant, high blood pressure readings and having to focus on my cholesterol levels, which I've never had a problem with necessarily, outside of one health scare I had in college. And in college, all that led up to a complete burnout, and I had to reset myself again. I'm not trying to get to that point once again, but I guess I'm now sitting down and seeing the signs that I'm heading down the same road as I once did. It's just a different focus. So instead of school, necessarily, it's finances. Now, that's not to say I don't enjoy making videos. I do enjoy making videos. I love sitting with you guys. I love talking with you guys. I love being a part of the different communities I'm in. I love seeing you guys reach your goals and play all the challenges, and just, you sharing something that's so meaningful to you, right? And very much having very intimate and close conversations that, we don't really, or most people don't really sit down and just talk about their finances like that. So I appreciate that dearly. And don't get me wrong, if you don't see me in the comments, know that I am watching. I've just been, again, so busy and running myself into the ground basically to try to get all this done, to where I neglected things that I genuinely enjoy doing. So you guys might hear part of the spiel again when I actually make my 2026 goals. But for now, here in November, start of November, I am working on basically stepping myself down and redirecting what I am and am not doing, and what I am and am not focusing on. So, with all of that being said, in that giant monologue I just had with you guys, I am doing two things. One, I am starting this challenge. I'm calling it Noms November. I will leave the link. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera. I will leave the link to this challenge down in the description below. You can download it for free on my Kofi shop, and it also comes with an A5 and A6 dashboard, whichever one you prefer to choose. I don't really need the dashboards because the challenge will be going in this binder, and I'll explain this binder in a minute. But the overall goal for me for this challenge is to kind of focus on both my finances and health. So I tracked my expenses in September and throughout October and realized that a lot of my budget in places I was blowing my budget was in my intentional spending with eating out and just buying random things and going through random drive-thrus. The random stuff was more so things that I needed to refill on, so I didn't see those as a negative, like, oh, I needed more laundry detergent or soap or something. That's completely normal. Was not expecting to run out when I ran out. And the timing between grocery shopping, they may have not had it in the store at that time because they do have sensitive skin, so there's certain brands that I buy. If they don't have it, then I go back to the store at a later time. That's completely fine. However, the random impromptu grocery store trips to buy snacks or random drive-through visits are not beneficial to me, not only to my budget, but also health-wise, because 9 times out of 10, I realized when I went to go do those impromptu stops, it was because I was stressed out. And instead of sitting down and actually dealing with what I was feeling and how to basically rework that, I just channeled it to going to get food. So this is a multi-step problem that I'm trying to address with this challenge, and in some shape or form I may carry it out through the next year. But for this challenge in particular, I made 3 rules for myself. So no drive-through or snack runs for the month of November. No snacking in between meals. That's not saying I can't have a snack with a meal, if that makes sense. If I, for example, I want a bag of chips with lunch because I take lunch. So if I make a sandwich and bring a bag of chips with me, that doesn't count as me snacking, in that I'm bringing it with my lunch to have with my lunch, right? Versus me bringing a sandwich for lunch and then 2 hours later getting stressed out or bored, which is another thing, and then going to reach to go get chips and other stuff. That is what I'm trying to avoid and trying to nip in the butt now. So that's what I mean by no snacking between meals, and also no more than 1 non-water beverage per day. I love water, don't get me wrong, I guzzle water like nobody's business, but I also have a bad habit of when I eat meals, for example, if I have a soda or orange juice or apple juice or whatever with lunch, then I tend to have another one with dinner, and then I tend to have another one, like apple juice for breakfast, and then have some type of lemonade or whatever for lunch, and then have a soda with dinner. And I want to curb that too, not only because of sugar content, and it doesn't make me feel great. I feel blah most of the time if I have too much sugar in a day, but it's also to just get back into the habit of not expecting it with a meal or associating it with a meal all the time, if that made any sense. But anyway, those are the 3 rules I made for myself. So each rule I've made $1, and every time I meet that goal, I will basically save $3 a day. If I end up missing one, then that'll be, for example, I miss one, that'll be only $2 I'm saving that day instead of 3. And so on and so forth. The only exception I've made is on the 16th. I do have a birthday within the family, so I already know that I am probably going to be breaking either one or multiple of those rules, just because I don't know what their birthday plans are, or if we're going out to dinner, versus them wanting to have an actual party and we bring food, or whatever the case may be. So I've left that day open. I made it into a roll and save, so whatever rules I end up breaking, for example, let's say I break 2 of my 3 rules, I will multiply that times 3, so I'll save $6. Something like that. That might change when I get there, but for right now, that's where I'm at. So I will be filling these out probably on a weekly basis. I do have a notes calendar to where I could just put the number in and then update with you guys on a weekly basis. Or I could put it in a community tab with updates, whichever one I end up doing. I don't know. But also feel free if you download this, decide to make it your own. It doesn't necessarily have to be food related. I just did food because Thanksgiving and food usually go together. But if you have other goals, whether that be spending or making sure you get outside a certain amount of times a day or whatever the case may be, feel free, change this how you want. Either way, I would love to hear your progress on it and what you plan on doing with it, and if you actually meet your goals at the end of the month. So yeah, that's one challenge that we'll be doing. And again, it'll be on my Ko-Fi shop, and I'll make sure to leave a link down in the description. But this lovely binder, which is where the Noms November money will be going into, this is my Freebies binder. It might be my Freebies Friday binder. I don't usually post on Fridays, but I'm open to doing so, at least every other week. But this binder is more so of a, I guess, manifest type binder. 9 times out of 10, I have very, very long-term goals that I tend to neglect. Not to say that they aren't important, but I put them on the back burner for other goals that are necessarily needed, but I feel as though are more immediate. So what I've done or try to work out is have kind of like buckets with my binders. So as you guys know, I have my sinking funds binder, I have my car binder, I have my adulting binder for things like home insurance and bills and stuff. Of course, my emergency fund is both short and long term, savings goals with that. But this binder in particular, I am going to use for more so of those long-term goals that will eventually become short-term. I don't know if that made sense. For example, right now, one of my goals for 2026 is to increase my car deductible to $1,000. Why? I pay my car insurance monthly. It does not provide any extra benefit to pay it off in the 6-month periods. Honestly, they don't give any discount or anything. It's just, yay, you just paid it off and you don't have to pay for 6 months. But after my car repair that I told you about in my last video, that car deductible has been depleted. And so I, of course, am not looking to be in the same situation again. But I also want to have the deductible as more so of a car emergency fund, that if I'm put in a similar situation or there's a major repair that I have to be aware of, I want to be able to have that bucket anyway. But to fund it where I want to is not going to fit in my full-time check, because my full-time check is already basically designated to all those short-term goals, like my annual renewal bills, my pet fund, part of my emergency fund, saving up for home insurance. Like, I am, I guess, stretched thin as far as my full-time is concerned. So this binder is purely going to be if I round down my account by a couple of dollars, or I have extra room from my part-time to put into here, which my part-time is another thing, and I will update what that'll look like come next week, I believe. Wherever my next budget with me is, which should be next week. And in there, I am basically going to be reworking my part-time check of like, yes, I am still paying extra towards my student loans. That's not stopping. But at the same time, I am not going to be as aggressive, I guess is the right word to use. With it, I'm still going to put, extra dollars here and there. Yes, it's going to extend my goal by maybe a year, maybe. And I say maybe because that doesn't include things like magic months or if extra money comes in or any bonuses or anything. So it would extend my timeline potentially past 30, and I'm slowly becoming more okay with that because I know there are other things that I want to do, for one, that are just as important. And for two, there are other priorities I need to set for myself now, like my health. I can't continue to miss training sessions or not be able to get my full 8 hours of sleep or anything because I am working so much. I'm not going to be any good if I just keep going to the point where I'm burning out. Again, love to work, have no problem working. Actually, in most cases, I'm overworking and reaching far beyond employers' expectations. Because my expectations are high. But it's not worth me burning out for, even though debt payoff is still on the table, it's still going to happen. I have to basically force myself to see that's not the only thing that matters right now, necessarily. Because I become very tunnel visioned when I have goals happening. So, gosh, this is such a rambling video. I am so sorry, y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put like a forewarning that this is chatty in the title somewhere. And if you're still listening, I appreciate it. But yeah, so this binder is mostly fall themed. Fall is really my absolute favorite season, actually. Winter is a very close second. But I'm going to try to keep this binder mostly, if not all, freebies from different channels. I will link the channels I have in here right now down in the description below, and there are many more that I've also downloaded as well, that once I finish some in here, I'll just keep cycling challenges in and mentioning them as much as humanly possible. And breathe. So I got these stickers, these fall themed stickers. This cute sticker I got from my bestie Maddie at Floating Funds because I did the Kraken. If you guys played our cute but spooky zoo collab. So she sent me this theme sticker, which I absolutely adore. And stickers in the back. This is a DIY dashboard I did. I will link the video where I made it down in the description as well if you would like to make one yourself. And of course, if it's A5, you just have to scale it larger. But this is from an old calendar. Actually, all of it, old calendar, some two-sided tape, some glue, and scissors. So if you guys are interested in making your own, that video will also be down in the video description. So these fall savings in here, most of them are freebies. Some are challenges I either received with Etsy orders or that I bought a while ago and just reusing them. Like this one from TNL Budgets I'm reusing. This challenge from Maddie at Floating Funds. I love this ghost. When she had a sale on her Etsy shop, I got that for this binder. We'll continue with that. And there are many other challenges in here. This is a October trio, or my Deptober trio, that I have in my Ko-Fi shop as well. Challenges from Budget with Carly. Here, Alexis, Dying Outlaw Games and Budgets. Pony Express Graphics. This is also a trio, but I'm doing one at a time. Gosh. This one is Kimmy's Corner. She had a trio for October, November, and December. I just am using the November one right now. There's Pam at the Miss Champion. She has a lot of Charlie and Snoopy type theme challenges I absolutely adore in her Ko-Fi shop. This is Budgets by Abigail. This is an older challenge, I believe. Yeah, when she had 100 subscribers. This is way old. And I downloaded it a while ago and just never got a chance to play it until now. But yeah, please go check out her channel. And also, while she's out right now, please play her playlist. I will have her channel added with the rest of these channels as well. But if you can play her playlist in the background, that would be amazing. All right. And then we have Steph with Steph. Sorry. Steph with Savvy Girl Saves. Love her challenges. Love Little Gnomes. We have BZ's Budgets with different ghosts, which will be starting here. Paperclip. And then we have Budgeting with the Ginger. She is a new channel to me. I just now started watching. But again, she'll be linked down below. And this was... Well, she's now D's versus Retirement. But it was D Plan and Budget. She changed her name, and I printed this before she had the name change. So, anyway, she'll be linked down there as well. Yeah, so I'm basically going to flip through and do these challenges. And one challenge that will not fit in here, because I am not updating to an A5. This may be controversial. I'm not a big A5 fan. I respect it, but I don't know what it is about A6. It just feels better. I don't know. Anyway, this is a roll dice challenge from Trina at Hippie Puppies and Kitten Budgets. I'll leave her channel down in the description below. This is going into this fall savings envelope. Any challenge I can't physically fit in here is basically going in this envelope. And I'm saving them collectively as one challenge. Alright, so I'll probably play her roll dice game when I have more money or after my part-time check. But today we're just doing money I rounded down from my account. So let's see here. And I got these small little tiny bill. I love this. I got these small tiny bills from the dollar store that opened about 5 minutes away from me. And it was $1.75 for 2 sets. So I'm going to use these as this is a more long-term challenge. I don't plan on unstuffing this until probably this time next year. So I will be playing this year long. If you guys have any fall related savings challenges, if you have any rustic, I guess, theme challenges, because since I'll be playing this year round, it doesn't necessarily have to be fall themed all the time, in here, I greatly appreciate it. And again, I'm trying to get as many Ko-Fi shops and channels in here as humanly possible. So yeah, feel free to leave either a Ko-Fi shop down in the comments or just make a comment saying, hey, I have some in my Ko-Fi shop. Thanks for checking it out. Anything like that, and I would try to get to your shop as quickly as I can. You might not see it in this binder, again, because these are going to take me a while. But I will still have your channel mentioned down in the description with this binder, because it'll get here eventually. Promise. Alright? Cool. So we're going to start... Let's see, actually count money for a while. So that's 5, 10. Move this over a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have $14 going in here. If I can get it done before I have my renewal in August, that'd be great. But you know, I'm just going with the flow at this point. I'm not even going to try to stress myself out. So this challenge from BZ Things. Excuse me, did I say BZ Budget earlier? I'm sorry, BZ Things. And I made each ghost $1. And I guess my neighbor's dog approves. I made each ghost $1. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to roll a dice. Let me grab some. I'll just grab this dice. And we'll see how many ghosts we're coloring in. 1. Okay. So just gonna outline 1 ghost. Yeah, somebody's probably walking on the road and they're not appreciating it. Whether that be deliveries, because, you know, it's Christmas time, we have a lot of trucks coming through here, or somebody else on a bike, because apparently none of the dogs around here like bikes, including my own. So we probably won't be able to go through this binder once. If I have more funds or funds for my part-time, I'll try to get through my binder and probably leave the challenges out until the end. But since we're doing it as we go, I'm just going to go ahead and put the bills in now. So that's $2 total. These bills are also very thick, by the way. I love that. Very durable. Very durable. Wow, I can't even talk today. Or maybe because I've been talking too much. But yeah, very durable. At the dollar store. Cost me $1.75. Best purchases I ever had. Okay, so this Be Thankful Pumpkin Challenge is from Budget Was with Ginger. She had a trio, I believe, but I just took these 2 challenges out of there to try to get through them quicker. But a lot of people had these as sets, and I'm only doing like 1 or 2 challenges from them. Alright, so roll dice, see how many pumpkins we're going to color. And we have 3. Alright, you know, try to make this, I'm trying to keep these on brand and as festive as I can. Am I going to be successful all the time? I do not know. But that leaves the question, do you guys actually like watching people color in their challenges, or do you prefer when they just speed through it? Me personally, I don't mind watching people color. It's actually very soothing when I think about it. If I have a challenge that I color, I try to do it as neatly as I can, or as quickly as I can. But I tend to speed through mine if I have, for example, nothing to say during that time, or I have a whatchamacallit, scratch off. There we go. And it's taking me a while to get all the sticker off. All right, so do we have 3 bills? 1, 2, 3. Yep, we sure do. So I'm going to stick that in here for her challenge. And then next We have D's versus retirement. And hers was a trio, if I can get it out. Hers was a trio with various denominations on here. I was going to cycle through them, but now I'm thinking about it. I'm probably just going to color numbers in based on what I have. I think, and since this video is probably long enough, and I've made you guys suffer listening to me long enough, I think I'm just going to take this last $10, if I can put the cap on, last $10, and go ahead and color in here. These fives. These fives here, yeah. All right. So thus far in this challenge, I'll probably come back and condense later as well. You have 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, $29. Yep, $29. Again, these bills are thick, so counting them is kind of difficult, but so be it. I'm not going to keep track of how much I have in this binder in total. I'm probably just going to keep track of how much I've saved per set of challenges, and go from there. But yeah, that's basically it. I'll have all the channels linked down below, and make sure I put my paperclip here, so next time we stuff, I start with one of my bigger challenges. Alright, I thank you guys for watching, and again, my Noms November challenge is in my Kofi shop and will be down in the description below. I thank you guys for watching. If you made this far in the video, please leave a fall leaf or any type of fall emoji down in the comment section below. I hope you have a blessed day, night, evening, wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you guys next time and my first budget with me. Bye guys.